Today we will be discussing the difference between explosives and propellants, different propellants and what improvements can be made. Also, we will be discussing primer types and their sizes. Inside primer compound, you'll find potassium chlorate, fine powdered charcoal, sulfur, which you can tell by the yellow color, and small granules that can be either sugar, salt, or ground glass to help friction.
The UN defines an explosive as a substance that, when ignited, exerts a sudden and intense pressure on its surroundings by the rapid formations of large quantities of gas. The UN defines propellant as the charge used to propel the projectile from a gun.
Propellants will burn around 1,125 feet per second when they're sonic, and less than 900 feet per second for subsonic. Explosives will burn greater than 23,000 feet per second. So we have come a long way since black powder. Back in the 1600s and 1700s, alchemists, which has now been disproven as a science, were the ones that more mixed up the compounds to make black powder. Now, with modern research in chemistry, we've come up with smokeless powder that was used with nitrates. Nitrates allow us to get a more controllable burn rate with the additives we put into it, so we can have a progressive burn rate instead of an explosive burn rate. Now, with current research, many nitrates are being found and discovered all the time, with more nitrate mixtures being able to be in development. From the U.S. Navy Institute, one is nitrate cholate, and the problem with it is a better substance than nitroglycerin or some of the other nitrates. Every so often, instead of the propellant being a progressive burn rate, it becomes an explosive burn rate, causing the firearm to explode, injuring and killing individuals. More research needs to be done, but within a few decades, I could see the current industry moving away from traditional smokeless propellants into more modern and greater complex propellants.
Let's talk about battery cup primers. These have four main components: the battery cup on the outside, the inside primer cup, the anvil, and the primer compound mixture. Let's talk about boxer primers. Here's a top view of the boxer primer. This is the anvil. Makes a triangle shape, cutting the circle into three separate portions. Here on the side view, you can see it has the anvil, has a piece of foil paper, and the mixture compound. This is all within inside the cup. On the case, there'll be a single flash hole with the boxer primer. Let's talk about the Berdan primer. You have the cup, the priming compound mixture, and a paper disc that holds it in place. On the case that uses a Berdan primer, there'll be two flash holes.